I'd like to welcome everyone to this table read theater production of Call Me Al, Capone in Miami. It's a project that's been a long time in the making. We have joining us via Zoom Patty Arias, the Chief Executive of Miami Film and Media Market. She joins us from an undisclosed location, national security and all that. And Stuart McKinnon, who's our producer, who joins us from the wilds of Great Britain. Stuart has been instrumental in this for a very long time, and his contribution to this particular draft has been invaluable. So, without further ado, let's kick this thing off.
Palm Beach, Florida, December 1927. Interior, The Breakers, private suite day. Over black. Al Capone, 28, looks 45, is seated and relaxed, his look betraying his feeling of having arrived at the uppermost echelon of American plutocracy, as his brother Ralph, age 29, looks an exhausted 50. Paces. The place is opulent, tasteful, and painfully old money. Through expansive windows and past the balcony, we see rolling blue Atlantic, framed by palms swaying in the balmy breeze. Priceless paintings, oak-paneled walls, leather furniture. Excruciating good taste. From a private lift, into this walks in Joe Kennedy Sr., 42, patrician, with 4 children. He is humorless and stiff, as if that was the secret of wealth.
Roselli's told us about the many things you've done in Hollywood.
Al and Ralph both stand to shake Joe's hand. Joe nods, the very smallest possible nod, a mere chemical trace of a nod.
My 4 oldest children, Catherine, Joey, Jack, and Rosemary.
The boys shake Al's hand rather maturely.
Your dad and I might work together.
He's got a new restaurant in Miami.
Are you doing the cooking?
He's got his own chef.
A beat as Rosemary, who clearly has some developmental issues, takes this in.
Daddy, is this the bad man who kills people?
Al hears but ignores it. Joe, for only a split second, looks out of character, ashamed.
You want to go back to the beach?
Ralph, take the kids down. If you kids behave, I bet you can talk them into ice cream.
At that, the kids run to the elevator, with Ralph already thrown by Rosemary's question and angry he's made to go but does as he's told, on their heels.
Do not let them play with any colored cabana boys. Family. They all need to be taken care of one way or another.
You have, how many in total?
6, plus Rosemary. You only have the one, right?
That I know of.
Alone at last, Al and Joe walk slowly through Joe's suite, almost as if Joe were a museum guide. Joe pauses by a large painting of the American Civil War.
In every war, there is a winner and a loser, but never in a civil war. Those only have losers and other more bloodied losers. Mothers weep over both Cain and Abel, yes?
Al is unsure of where Joe is going with this, which we can tell from Joe's expression is exactly how Joe likes it.
You see this drummer boy in a gray uniform?
Joe taps the canvas with his index, making a hollow, muted thump.
What is he here? 10? 12?
11. Died at the Battle of Shiloh. His body was on the battlefield for 9 days. His mother never forgave him, so.
Al is sadly surprised by the tale. Joe's index is still hovering over the little drummer boy.
What's your son's name?
Al Jr. We call him Sonny.
Kennedy stops at another large painting.
Washington crossing the Delaware. He spent a brutal winter in Valley Forge, so he could surprise the Redcoats. Almost certainly won the war with that one decision.
You know, I can tell you've got hopes for all your kids.
For some, hopes. Plans for the others. You must feel the same way about yours.
Looking back at the Delaware painting,
You know, after the age of 7, there are no good surprises. I'll think about your proposal.
Glad you like the paintings.
I sure learned a lot of stuff today.
As did I.
Joe stands and sees Al to the door, as we dissolve to. Over black. Chicago, Illinois, 6 months earlier. Newspaper headline montage. Rackets grow in Chicago. Police close in on Capone brothers gang. Frank Capone killed in police shootout. Al released after questioning. Dissolve to. Exterior, Our Lady of Victory Catholic Church Day. Church teams with flowers as mourners arrive. 2 men are there to supervise, Al and Ralph. A hearse and limousine pull up. Teresa Capone, 55, steps out. They go to her. Interior, Our Lady of Victory Catholic Church Day. A very Baroque church, all gold and marble. It's packed. We scan the crowd and see by their attire all the leadership of the U.S. mob, the Commission. Note, we'll see them later, is here to pay respects to the late Frank Capone. Al and Ralph guide Teresa to her pew, kiss her on the cheek, and go sit with their respective wives. Teresa, distraught, bears up by willpower alone. Her look conveys that, in the Capone family, weakness is to be despised. Al manages to shuffle into a pew next to his wife, May, 27, petite and pretty in an American-Irish kind of way, who is seated next to their son, Sonny, 8, chubby, asthmatic, and extremely hard of hearing, with a primitive 1920s hearing aid. May tilts her head to direct Al's look.
There's a guy at the back in a dull gray navy suit, staring the whole time.
Al looks dead ahead, unblinking, as if he's trying to turn off his peripheral vision.
It's Vinny. Do not look at him.
This startles May.
Vinny, your brother died in the war.
Wounded, decorated, officer and a gentleman. He's the white sheep of the family. Just don't stare.
Interior, Our Lady of Victory Catholic Church. Al's point of view. Frank's sterling silver casket, along with seemingly every flower in the 4 adjoining states, process up to the altar.
It's very pretty. Poor Frank.
Yeah. Poor Frank.
Sonny looks up at the altar and is slightly confused. He tugs at Al's sleeve, and we can tell by his way of speaking how serious his hearing problem really is.
Daddy, why is Father Rafters here?
May looks up and, surprise, presiding over Frank's funeral mass is Father Sean Rafty, 50, ruddy, whom she recognizes from her Miami vacations.
Al, that's Father Rafty from Miami.
We had a theological disagreement with His Grace, the Archbishop of Chicago, on a point of doctrine. So we had to have Father Rafters come. Now, hush, the both of you.
Interior, Our Lady of Victory Catholic Church, lobby. Al's associates, Tommy, Fatty Walsh, 40, Irish, heavyset, gentle and soft-spoken. And Eddie, the dribble, Sapinetta, 51, hair-triggery. Their usher duty completed. Mill around the lobby, away from the main lobby of the church. When in bursts Emilio, Cat, Cantalet, 42, angry and bitter.
Where do you think you're going?
Well, I paid my fucking respect. What the fuck do you think?
Hey, respect. This is a church. Sorry, Kat, it's full. No, not one seat. You have to wait out here.
That dead son of the bitch wasn't like his brother. So I'm going to fucking pay my fucking respect. What do you think I drove all the way from Detroit for my heart?
Sorry. Al's orders.
Emilio Vermillion, with rage, rushes at the heavy oak doors separating the lobby from the body of the church. Interior, Our Lady of Victory Catholic Church, altar.
In nomine Patera et...
In the background, the lobby doors bang open, louder than a cannon blast. All heads immediately snap back, except for the priests.
I'm going to pay my...
The lobby doors slam closed, even louder when they opened. All heads now turn back to the altar, where the priest proceeds as if nothing was happening.
Requiem ad Sister Nama.
The lobby doors bang open again, just as loud as before, only now, this is followed with the added sounds of vigorous scuffling. All heads immediately snap back, again, save for the priests.
Get off me! I swear, I'll fucking got you like a fish, all of you!
The lobby doors slam shut again. Now louder than before, all heads turn back to the altar, where the priest is still going at it without interruption.
Dona et Domini.
Right on cue, the doors bang open yet again, with even more and even louder scuffling. Just as loud as ever, all heads immediately crane back yet again, save for the priests.
I'll fucking shoot your mother! I'm gonna stab your fucking sister!
The lobby doors slam shut as before, loudest of all. All look back to the altar, where the priest continues, oblivious to the disruption. Quietly, Charles, lucky, Luciano, 39, wiry, intelligent, and calm, leaves his pew and heads to the back of the church.
Et lux perpetua.
In an instant, the scuffling in the lobby ceases. The sudden silence palpable as the priest casts incense on the casket. Al looks down at Sonny, whose eyes are welling up. He rests his head on Al's shoulder, his chubby face pink from crying. He speaks to Al, a slight struggle to form words.
I'm going to miss Uncle Frank.
May leans over to Al, placing her lips to his ear.
Let me translate. Dad, that could be you.
Al takes that in, his own eyes welling, immediately sobered. Pre-lap noise pops and clicks, tinny sounds from the primitive film sound of an opening newsreel. It's a clip of Al Capone holding a press conference. This plays over the montage. Fade to. Over montage, newsreel sounds emerge. Hialeah Park, horses and grooms moving with an easy elegance. Gorgeous thoroughbreds rocket out of their gates.
In Chicago, the notorious Al Capone held a surprise press conference where he announced his retirement.
Golf course. Beautifully manicured grass with men in +4s and women in long skirts playing on the Biltmore golf course.
I'm retiring. All I've gotten is aggravation and ingratitude. I'm done with it.
What are you going to do now?
Biltmore Hotel, veranda. Captains of industry in seersucker suits discuss their next ventures. As we pan, we see Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, and Joseph Kennedy Sr.
For now, I'm off to Miami, where life's pleasant and maybe, I don't know, join the Chamber of Commerce, open a restaurant, go fishing.
Dinner, Key Marina. A seaplane lands with a graceful glide in the marina's water within sight of Miami's City Hall.
How will sunny Miami cope with Hurricane Al? And in sports, Babe Ruth visited some orphans at
Fade 2. Exterior, Biltmore Hotel, entrance day. We see a green and black Cadillac lazily pull up to the entrance. We hear the doors open and close, and by their heavy thunks, realize this is an armor-plated car. Interior, Biltmore Hotel, lobby, day. Al enters the posh hotel, along with May and Sonny. They are instantly met by Parker Henderson, Jr., 25, very old South WASP, who's been waiting for them, all smiles and eagerness.
You made it. You must be Mr.
Brown.
Mr. Brown, lovely meeting you. Welcome to Miami. I've been asking Al when he was going to bring you. And you must be Sonny.
Sonny, slightly self-conscious about his hearing aid, offers his hand. In the background, we see guests milling about. One in particular peers at Al from behind a newspaper.
How do you do?
Parker momentarily taken back by Sonny's speech, but recovers in a flash.
Y'all relax for a quick second. I'll have your bag sent up and get your key.
He hurries away to the bellhop stand.
Who's that?
Parker Henderson Jr. He's the outgoing mayor's oldest son.
May lets it sink in with a, isn't that something, smile.
The minute I met him, he wanted to be my best friend. I didn't even get half a chance to charm him.
Parker returns with a key and a bag tag and hands them to Al.
There you go, sir. Let me know if you need anything. Oh, I scheduled the showing of Augie Bush's house for you as well.
Park, you're the bee's knees.
I live to serve. Enjoy your day.
And he's gone. May eyes Al suspiciously as Al's driver Rocco Simi, 36, heavy set, eager to please, arrives.
Ready to go out?
Wait. What house?
Don't worry about it. Go to the room, relax, swim in the pool with Sonny. I got business. See you at dinner. Let's go, Rock.
He kisses them both and walks away.
Don't look now, Al. I think that cop from last year is following us.
I know. I saw.
Interior, Burdine department store, men's fitting area, day. Al and Rocco are in the men's department. The place is very quiet, so most of the staff wait on Al. Al stands on a wooden platform in front of a three-way mirror as a tailor adjusts an ivory linen jacket. Roddy Burdine, the owner, stands by looking apprehensive about the bill adding up. A huge pile of tropical clothes are on the counter, boxed up by a clerk. The tailor spins Al so he looks directly at Burdine via a mirror.
Do more like this. Navy and khaki.
That's the finest Irish drill linen. But we have something less.
Mr. Burdine, I need a full Miami wardrobe. Immediately. I'm opening a restaurant on the jetty. I also need a tropical weight tux for the opening. Do your magic on time, and I'll comp you.
The clerk sets various boxes on the counter. He hands a Panama hat to Al, who tries it on and looks in a small mirror, pausing for a split second, as if someone's lurking.
The total today is $825, Mr. Brown. Would you need a charge account?
Rock, pay Mr. Burdine.
Rocco peels off a stream of $100 bills to Burdine's shock.
Bring the change on opening night.
Al cheerfully taps on the counter and leaves with Rocco in tow with the bags, trying to look nonchalant. Interior, Miami City Hall, Chief of Police Office, morning. RJ's point of view, a hasty meeting of city officials and law enforcement around a small conference table. There are small cardboard tents with everyone's names and titles. Laura Dunbar, 55, and incoming mayor's chief of staff. Leslie Quigg, 40, wary and pragmatic. The chief of police, RJ Hart, 31, hard and professional. The prohibition agent for Florida. Missing is the Associate Attorney General for Florida. There are multiple newspapers with headlines related to Capone in Miami.
I think this is everyone who's going to show up. Let's start.
Give the nice lady from the Justice Department a few minutes.
She's not going to show.
How do you know it's a she?
Justice Department and prohibition? Trust me, this is my field. It's a she. Let's just start. The mayor's got a tea time.
A certain Al Brown was positively identified as Capone by Assistant Chief Reeve yesterday. Capone left his hotel and went shopping downtown. Reeve recognized him from the inquiry into the homicide of Detective Calloway last year and tailed him.
Was Reeve spotted?
Possibly, but not probably. If so, even better. Love having Scarface edgy. Reeve's support is right here.
Quigg slides a big tattered manila folder, a photo of Al labeled Capone, Alphonse G, to RJ, who flips through it.
Wait. Nobody was ever convicted for the death of Detective Calloway?
Not even indicted.
Yet Mrs. Calloway somehow managed to get, it says here, 50 grand. Cash?
Under what statute do we arrest a guy for throwing money around?
We'll come up with one. Capone's gotta be stopped. Consequences be damned.
Interior, Everglades Suite, continuous. Parker and Al enter from the elevator, taking in the cavernous suite. Ralph looks down from the upper floor.
Don't like it. You can't take it.
Quit the superstitious shit. There's no astrology, there's no shamrock, no Easter bunny, there's no 13th floor bullshit.
It also takes up the 14th floor.
I'll still take it. See? A refuge for you.
Al heads to the staircase, Parker in tow. Interior, Everglades Suite, upper floor.
Look, I'm over all the aggravation. I'm going legit. I'm having some people coming up from all over to buy up my businesses.
Al, about that.
Then why do you need a suite?
I made some friends over the years. Chaplin, Fairbanks. Gotta treat them right, show them a good time.
But didn't you just say...
Just entertainment. If it happens to spin off a buck or two, fine.
Before you go all fire sale, we have to talk.
Interior, Deluxe Suite, Biltmore Hotel, later. Ralph walks in, weary. His wife, Velma, is on the sofa, wearing a silky robe, reading a book, Spiritualism in the Ancients.
How was your first day of school?
Ralph gives Velma a look for the moment, then keeps walking toward the bedroom. He sighs.
Wow, that good?
Ralph ponders, explaining things. He finally decides to vent.
Okay, but remember, you asked. He's fixated on going legit. Like that's magically erasing his past.
What's that mean? I mean for us.
Hell, if I can't figure it out, how a new and legit Al Capone will make even a drop of his current income, or how he's going to live in less than his wife's current jewelry budget, can you believe it? He's fixated on Miami's wardrobe, and he'll burn through a cubic acre of money in 2 hours and not give a good goddamn how he'll replace it with his idiot legit plans. To answer you, I don't know where it lives us. A guy with a restaurant, whatever other things he wants, won't need a consigliere.
Even his own brother?
You never saw him with Frankie. He made a good show in his funeral, but that's just a goddamn show.
What are you gonna do?
Save Al from himself before we all regret it.
Interior Costa d'Oro restaurant, private dining room. Next morning. Al and his wife and son are finishing breakfast. Larry, 17, a young and sad-faced busboy, is clearing the table. Al's behind his newspaper. We catch a glimpse of the headline. Citizens concerned Miami to be mobster's home. Incoming mayor urged to act. As a wisp of cigar smoke floats up.
It's a nice day. Come with us to picnic on the beach.
I have a lot of work, honey.
Oh, geez, Dad. Come on.
At his boy's voice, Al lowers the paper, his face paternally tender as he regards Sonny, who is in beach attire and isn't wearing a hearing aid. He takes a solid gold pen from his pocket and scribbles on a small notepad. Close-up notepad.
Not today, Sonny. Sorry. I promise I'll go Saturday. Honest.
Yes, sir. May I be excused?
Al nods. May tells Sonny in sign language to get his beach towel and float. Sonny then leaves in the exaggerated, sulking style only a little kid can manage, walking around poor Larry, who is clearing tables and pouring over some coffee for May.
Sweetheart, take his swim things.
Yes, Al. That's what I told him. If you'd bother learning sign language, you'd know that.
Make sure that he swims and doesn't just, splash around. You know what Dr. Shapiro said about the asthma?
Yes, Al. And you? You come with the next time? Work can hold for like a couple hours. Last time his friend's dog was swept by the undercurrent, drowned. I had to deal with it. He sobbed and you went there to be his dad.
That line hits Al hard. Not being around for Sonny pains him. Interior Costa d'Oro restaurant, private dining room. Next morning. In the background, we hear Ralph enter in a hurry, nearly colliding with Larry. He greets May with a kiss on the cheek. Ralph notices Larry's glum expression and asks May about it.
What's with him?
His dad just died. He quit school to support his mother and family. Poor kid. He wanted to be a doctor.
You guys have fun at the beach?
May exits, calling for Sonny to get his beach things ready.
We gotta talk. One of our guys in the police says we're spotted yesterday. Cops know you're here.
I know. Saw that cop from last year telling me as I was trying to shop in peace. Bastard nearly got into the suit with me. Look at this shit.
So you're not worried? Wait, what shit's this shit?
Of course not. I'll be legit in a few weeks and then we're golden. Besides, I already made a solemn vow to the commission. I leave and sell all the rackets.
Solemn? How solemn? Like Omerta solemn?
Yes. On oath of Omerta.
Shit,
On
Al.
my life.
Talk to me before you swear on your life like that. To leave the commission's protection expose you and May, even Sonny, to the Irish and Jewish mobs?
Al, face still serious, points to a story about the Barnum and Bailey Circus in nearby Sarasota, Florida. Headline: Ezra, star tiger, to be put down for fatal mauling of trainer.
It's a disgrace. This poor fucking tiger is trying to sleep when a couple morons get drunk and try to saddle him.
You feel so bad? Do something.
Al looks at Ralph with a be serious look.
I'd take Sonny's minds off the dog that drowned on him. We could stash him in the restaurant's garden.
Say. Yeah. Make the call.
We gotta talk about this going legit shit. Going legit doesn't erase the thing we've done. If the cops cram a microscope up your ass for the feds to come peek.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Frustrated, Ralph gets up.
You think it's your personal charm, but going legit isn't as easy as giving the commission your 2 weeks notice. It'll bring you more heat and also a pay cut. And why now? Why not when it could have saved Frank? It makes no sense at all.
As Ralph leaves, Larry returns for the last time. Al, eyes damp, looks at Larry sympathetically and rises to exit. Larry's broom bumps on a brick of $1,000 bills.
Mr. Al, you dropped this.
Al stops, turns around, and looks up and down at Larry, who is holding a gargantuan knot of cash.
Just do your fucking job.
Al turns on his heel, leaving Larry $50,000 in cash. Exterior Biltmore Hotel, terrace, day. Amadeo, Lucky, and Emilio, lounging on opposite chairs under the breeze of ceiling fans, disagree on the likely outcome of the meetings in Miami.
But we had to verify what he's putting on record. Like he's being straight about his damn brackets.
Nobody's saying not to verify, Cat. Just calm the fuck down.
Can't trust that fucking Neapolitan.
If you got a beef with his numbers, it's on you. He came to me on oath of emerita that he's going legit.
I swear, this fucker cornered the market and there's no tracks. I need to drive over the frozen lake to Canada just so he could take over Detroit too.
Look, we all know how Al can get. I have to have my sit-downs with him. It's in everybody's best interest, believe me, for him to get bought out and retire. Out of the commission and out of your hair. But Omerta? Not even that son of a bitch is crazy enough to fake swearing on his life.
Yeah? How do you know I was on the up and up? I won't kick in a cent until I know what's what. Retire. My ass. I smell double cross. He'll be the death of me.
So don't trust him. That's not it. He's the biggest earner in history. Gets in 10, 12 million every fucking year into the system. More than all of us combined. He takes care of the cops, the feds, the judges, national. All that benefits you, me, everyone. It puts him at the head of the table. Hell, it's his table. For now.
Wake up, Charlie. I know how he is. He's lucky. You didn't give him what he deserved. A 30-eye in the stickets.
Lucky breaks into laughter, leaving Emilio confused.
I probably should have whacked the son of a bitch. I can't help it. I like the fucking guy.
Emilio is not as amused as Lucky. He stands, a scowl across his face. He really hates Al and makes no effort to hide it.
I gotta go. You better fight that shit.
On that, Emilio heads to the elevators. Interior, Costa d'Oro restaurant, main room. Workmen clean up from the remodeling as delivery men troop in with provisions and line cooks. All young black men follow. It looks like a ton of money was sunk into this. All frescoes and gold under the supervision of May, who was there with Teresa, Sonny, Mafalda, Al's baby sister, 13, Ruthless, and Ralph, who talks with the foreman.
So, is Gino the chef coming?
Didn't Al promise that?
Al's promised me a lot of things.
What did you think of our file?
Interior Miami City Hall, Chief of Police Office Day. RJ and Dunbar are seated in front of Quick's desk. RJ puts the file on Quick's blotter.
It was some useful information, but a lot we already knew. But feel free to send it to
Margaret McGuire.
Either she's a slacker or she has her own ideas.
You don't get to her rank being a slacker.
So then she has her own modern ideas. Look, I know Capone's type. He can't help himself. Sooner or later, he'll give in to some temptation and go over the line. I need the mayor's office upon inauguration to authorize Chief Quigg to set aside a detachment of police officers tasked with catching Capone the second he goes outside the law.
Chief, what do you think you need?
If Reeves' report is right, and Capone is brought down to that size crew down here, we'll need, 35 men?
And how many do you have now?
With the new graduates from the police academy, 53 total.
That leaves, say, only 20 or so to protect the good citizens of Miami. That settles that.
Wait. Do you intend not to stop him?
Stop him? We're gonna soak him.
While he's doing whatever he wants?
Agent Hart, you want to leave a whole city protected by just 20 or so policemen? You may as well wipe your ass with confetti. So unless you can somehow magic up 35 for real police officers, we're stuck.
He's opening a restaurant right here. Field agents from all over the country report every single major mobster's move. And you want me to just let him do whatever?
Dunbar leans in, serious, about to spray harsh reality all over RJ's carefully crafted plans.
Let me phrase this so even a federal prohibition special agent can understand. We can't. The next best thing, then, is to let him keep flinging money around. While you were still training on how to take an axe to a whiskey barrel, half this town blew into the ocean and the other half became worthless. A guy opening a lavish restaurant is a godsend to a lot of hurting people. Is that against your precious prohibition law?
At this, RJ reaches the end of his rope with this discussion. He stands and addresses them, coldly.
I think I have enough information. Thank you. I apologize for having taken up your time.
RJ stands up, gathers his papers, and walks out of the meeting, barely containing his anger. As he goes, we realize he is Vinny. Interior, Everglades Suite, top floor, Biltmore Hotel, afternoon. Al races up the stairs. Ralph's at his desk on the top floor of the suite, a view of the golf course in the background.
Quick, get the books. The red ones.
The red ones? You sure? Not green?
Red. Lucky will be here in a few minutes as some of the guys think we're gonna pull a fast one.
Ralph, surprised, produces the red ones from a false drawer.
Fuck him. Let him think whatever.
Not so fast. If they think we're trying to sting them, they may jump the gun and do something crazy.
The doorbell to the Everglades Suite sounds.
Eddie, get that, it's Lucky.
Al and Ralph stand. Al heads to the staircase.
You're gonna be weird, aren't you? Fuck it. Fine.
Interior, Biltmore Hotel, Everglades Suite, bottom floor. Lucky enters, gawks at the suite, surprised by the luxury, shakes hands with Al.
Oh, well, God bless. I apologize. Retirement suits you.
Al pats Lucky on the back and leads him up the stairs. Interior, Everglades Suite, top floor, afternoon. Al and Lucky reach the landing and walk over to Ralph, who stands with his hands outstretched.
Which way to the gift shop?
You remember my brother, Ralph.
Bottles Capone. Nice seeing you again. So what do you have for me?
Ralph heaves a heavy red leather ledger, book on top of the desk, making a soft thud.
Lucky, if you'll excuse me.
Al exits with Rocco. Lucky and Ralph look at each other.
Here are all the operations for our outfit, though last week.
Ralph opens the ledger to the last page and slides it to Lucky, and a separate sheet with coded abbreviations.
And here's the key to the code.
Lucky skims the ledger, slowly at first, then speeding up.
Fuck. If my adding up is right, Al clears 37 mil this year.
Lucky looks at Ralph, who is shaking his head, clearly unhappy with Al.
Give or take.
Even a bargain price for each of these rackets will scare some of the coldest killers in this country. I can't believe you're really selling. And you guarantee these books are square, no fooling?
Ralph shows Lucky the scar on his thumb. From where it was cut to bleed on the saint's burning prayer card from Ralph's initiation into the mob. Lucky stares at it, frozen.
Every single cent is accounted for. No fooling. Omerda.
Lucky is totally stunned. He wasn't expecting Ralph to swear on his life.
Omerta, it's your life. If you bullshit me under the oath of Omerta.
Omer fucking ta. God damn it.
Okay. I'll go tell everybody get the checkbooks ready to invest.
Lucky stands and Ralph nervously walks him down the stairs. Interior, Everglades Suite, lower floor, afternoon. Ralph opens the door to let Lucky out.
So, does Al have your support?
I can't afford not to support him. You weren't fucking around. Those are some serious numbers. You're not worried somebody's gonna just try to simply order a hit and take the racket they like?
Remember, that's why nobody gets whacked without the commission's approval.
But that only applies to the various families. And the last thing I read, Al's got some very pissed off micks who are not too good with geography. Now, if you're willing to cut me a special deal, I can make your Irish problem disappear. You sons of bitches, I still can't believe you're really doing this.
They shake hands and Ralph closes the door, then sprints to the safety of the 14th floor. Interior, Everglades Suite, top floor. Later, Al returns with a smug smile on his face to recap with Ralph.
Spoke with Lucky. You did okay. He said some of the guys...
Which means that Mangiafrigate from Detroit, probably.
were doubting us. But you set him and them fucking straight.
About that. You know more about rackets than anyone. Fine. But you know I know more about the details.
Al nods. Nothing outrageous so far.
Keep talking. I'm listening.
If you had a machine that spit out $1 every morning, would you sell it for $5?
Al sees this will be a while, sits, and makes a hurry up motion.
Are you going somewhere with us?
You said you can't come off as weak. Remember why?
They'll eat me alive. If you see a point to this, swerve to it.
They're going to also eat you alive if they think you're stupid. You're fucking burning money just for a vanity. You say you walked away on your dreams' terms, on your own terms. And now getting forced out, nearly killed like Tommy Torito was. Wake up, Al. These guys can smell stupid through lead.
I'm retiring, Ralph. That's it.
To live on what? Whatever macaroni and dago red you push in traveling bosses? A ton of sunburned tourists and local yokels? And don't dream of being the best pals with Joe Kennedy. He can't do anything that'll stain him. That goddamn Mick needs plausible deniability and a fall guy. You know who his fall guy is? When you don't know who the fall guy is, the fall guy is you.
I have him figured out. Relax.
For sake's argument, what if Kennedy backs out for some reason?
Okay, genius. Then what do we do?
Give me 2 days. I'll shuffle a few things around and shelter some rackets. We'll say we sold some to your underbosses. The pain in the ass rackets? Go ahead and sell those. Let the Detroit guys buy out our trucks, and by the time they see it's only extra heaters and studded tires, it'll be too late.
Al stands. He breathes heavy with stress. He thinks.
Amelia would fucking die. Fine, do that, but the restaurant has to be a hit. So they don't have an excuse of disrespect or some goddamn thing to pull a fast one. Make it happen.
Al turns and walks down the stairs.
Thanks. You're crazy, but not stupid. Now, if only you could find the chef.
Interior, the Breakers, private suite day. R.J. Hart is seated in the anteroom, waiting. Joe Kennedy walks in, looking dour, as usual, with his wife, Rose, 37, stoic.
How may I help you?
R.J. opens his jacket, revealing in a flash his badge.
Mr. Kennedy, An anonymous informant reported you had a meeting with one Alphonse Capone last Monday. Mr. Capone is much of an interest to us.
Go on.
What was the nature of the meeting?
Capone is a silent partner at the Hialeah Park racetrack where I have an interest. Someone in my position simply can't be connected with his sort. I offered to buy him out.
So nothing about...
I offered to buy him out.
And his response was when you asked?
What makes you think I asked? Now, if you'll excuse me...
I'll see you out, Agent Hart.
Rose walks a frustrated RJ with an expression of, "You have not seen the last of me," to the door. Closing it, she turns to Joe.
That, Rose, is how you handle the wrong arm of the law.
Not thrilled about you flirting with Capone and his hoodlums.
I have his Achilles heel. Did you know he spent $130,000 searching for a cure to his son's deafness? $130,000, Rose. What does that say?
That Sonny is his weakness.
Joe nods and presses the button on the private elevator.
His very weak spot.
Impressive insurance policy.
The best. Just a hint, I may decline to prevent something happening.
That's a relief. But what do you do about the anonymous informant?
Joe looks at Rose with a mixture of pity and disdain and enters the private elevator. As the doors close, he says,
I'm the anonymous informant.
The elevator closes and descends as Kennedy smirks. Interior Costo d'Oro restaurant, corridor, day, same time. Sonny walks up to Al holding his hearing aid, which seems to have unscrewed itself open. Al looks at it, then at Sonny, and then looks around. Spotting the kitchen, he holds up an index, indicating for Sonny to wait.
Give me a minute.
Al steps into the kitchen as Sonny nods. Interior Costo d'Oro restaurant, kitchen, day. Al walks in, head swiveling side to side, in search for some kind of something to screw it back together. In the back room, he hears a muffled whimper and some scuffling. He moves to the back of the kitchen where he spots the chef, Gino, 44, heavy set, choking the much smaller Larry against a wall.
Fucking mooly. Thought you could get away with holding out on me?
Interior Costo d'Oro restaurant, back office. Gino grabs a fistful of the cash Al had given Larry.
Sorry, Mr. G.
This extra is your fine, so that you don't try this next time.
Seeing this, Al suddenly goes into a rage.
Leave the fucking kid alone! That's for his family!
Cut to Interior Costo d'Oro restaurant, corridor, day. Sonny is sitting on an empty vegetable crate, playing with yo-yo as the clatter and metallic sounds of a fight go on, inside which he can't hear. Interior Costo d'Oro restaurant, kitchen, day. Al and Larry look over the battered and dead Gino, a knife in his chest, blood seeping quickly into his white chef jacket.
Go tell Sonny to come in here. Do you know where Gino kept the tools? Can you screw this back together and give it to Sonny?
Larry, petrified, goes as Al drags Gino into the freezer. Interior Costo d'Oro restaurant, corridor, day. Al comes out, drying his hands, a bit of red on the kitchen towel, and takes Sonny, who points at his hearing aid.
Dad, Larry fixed it.
Thanks, Larry. Go get cleaned up. Take the rest of the day off.
Al hands Larry another wad of cash. Interior director's room, Hialeah Park, later that day. Al and the rest of the mobsters sit around a large table, empty champagne glasses and appetizer plates being cleared by park staff. An attendant brings a tray holding a phone.
So, as Lucky will verify, I've decided to go legit. That said, I'll honor the vow of secrecy from the oath of Omerta I took on the day I was made.
Call for you, Mr. Brown.
Al takes the phone, stands, and puts it to his chest.
Excuse me, gentlemen. A personal matter. Please enjoy cigars on the terrace. I'll join you shortly. What?
Interior Costo d'Oro restaurant, phone booth, intercut.
Gino's gone.
I know.
Did he leave, or is this another something that needs cleaning up?
Cleaning up. But it was his fault.
How? You pushing back the opening?
Can't. The whole goddamn commission is here. These guys are here from all over the goddamn country, so I gotta make a return that respect by making their trip worth the effort.
Or?
They'll think I jerked them around. That may as well be a blood insult. How are you not getting this?
Then we have to find another chef.
Al sighs from his soul, conveying that was among the top 4 stupidest things it's ever been his misfortune to hear.
When the cooks show up, see if maybe one can work.
Ma's gonna start teaching Rocco, so there's not much time.
Al hangs up, exhaling, tense. Cut to exterior, director's room terrace, Hialeah Park, afternoon. Lucky leads the rest of them out, past an attendant holding a box of expensive Havana cigars on a silver tray. They chat about the general shape of things, now that they are all in Miami. The attendant walks around the room, snipping cigars. Some guys have already bitten off the ends, and lighting them.
Mr. Brown will be back shortly. In the meantime, enjoy our best scotch and brandy, with his compliments.
Fellas, believe it or else, he is going legit. I went over everything with Ralph. He swore omerta on the books.
Some of the mobsters gasp at Lucky's mentioning Ralph's omerta. This is serious. Lucky sits and puffs on his cigar when Amadeo Petrarchio of Boston stands.
I can't believe he's walking away. At least now we can divvy up his rackets and not worry about a loose cannon boss with a publicist. I'll miss him, though. I can't believe it.
Fuck omerta. I sure as shit don't believe a syllable. You guys, it's gonna be scam. I swear to Christ.
Interior, Costo d'Oro restaurant, main entrance. Johnny, Ralph, and Al are there, discussing the chef issue.
Ma's with Rocco, maybe because he's more experienced eating than us.
She's gonna kill me before the Detroit mob.
Teresa emerges and spots Johnny, Al, and Ralph.
Oh, sweetheart, don't worry. I'm teaching Rocco.
Until we get a real solution, you both go back to the kitchen. Make sauce, antipasti, soup, set up the colors, leave it idiot-proof. Go with her. Do what she says, how she says, when she says. Now you concentrate. Got that?
Rocco and Teresa go to the kitchen.
Our life hangs on Ma teaching cooking to Fat Getaway Driver.
Interior, Miami City Hall. RJ's office at the same time. RJ is at his desk, littered with files, newspaper, notes. He's fuming as he loudly drops various attacks of files into some sort of logical arrangement. A knock as Chief Quiggs shows up.
Hey, got a second?
A second? Yes.
Quigg comes in and sits down opposite RJ.
Look, I know you're angry. You're not here to just see Capone skate.
Out with it.
Dunbar's got a point. Wait, no, hear me out. You do too. I know you do. I want to help. I'm here to offer what I can. I can't be 35 guys, but I can spare, say, 5 full-time. More and more as an as-needed basis.
RJ mulls this over. Quig's look shows worry whether RJ will help or hurt the official police efforts.
Damn it. Sure. Thanks.
Interior, Costo d'Oro restaurant, private room 2 days later. The introductory lunch is wrapping up. Desserts are cleared, and the topmost level of the commission gets up to stretch its legs before the espresso arrives. Al has been looking cautiously optimistic. Lucky approaches Al, who is fielding congratulations from Amadeo, followed by Emilio.
Seriously, I haven't had food like that since I was a kid.
Thanks. Thank you.
That was real nice.
But
You want a crowd? I mean a real crowd, night in, night out. Let me give you a hand. You gotta have Sicilian, sophisticated, exotic, who's got out for his way forward. But I'm not fool. How's that godly? You'll give everyone a eat out.
Al is flushed and seething, his knuckles whiten as he clenches his napkin. Amadeo heads him off.
Take it easy. You'll have a stroke.
It's your place. You do whatever. I'm just doing you a favor, so you can make, nice.
The waiter arrives with a sterling silver tray of steaming espresso cups. On that, Emilio and Lucky return to their seats. Amadeo gently places a paternal hand on Al's shoulder.
Al, not everything's a blood fucking insult.
He taps Al twice on the cheek. On the sound of guys chatting and laughing, Amadeo goes to his seat, leaving Al to process. Exterior, Costa d'Oro restaurant, back garden, afternoon. At the now deserted garden, Al pulls up his Cadillac next to a panel truck, driven by a sweaty Johnny with Ralph in the passenger seat. Johnny steps around to the back of the truck. From his open window, Ralph calls out.
Got a surprise for you.
You got a fucking chef in there?
Different surprise. More of a treat. Show him, John.
Exterior, back of truck, Costa d'Oro restaurant, afternoon. Ralph leads Al to the backside of the truck.
What treat needs a goddamn truck?
They approach the back, barely visible in the foliage. Al, curious, bordering on excited, approaches the back of the truck as Johnny undoes the Cadillac in the shade. From inside, vague rumbling around is heard. Johnny springs the gate open, revealing a cage with a male tiger, which immediately roars, scaring Al, who falls back.
Fucking hell!
Johnny and Ralph double up laughing as Al takes out his gun.
Whoa, easy, Al. Take it easy.
Meanwhile, Al is purple with humiliation and anger.
The hell you mean, take it easy?
Amid the laughter and Al's ranting, a voice is heard from inside the truck. It's Morris Mighty Mo Minkowski, 32, the most self-confident dwarf in the world, the tiger tamer.
He means you're rattling Ezra.
Who the fuck are you? And who the fuck is Ezra?
Mo hops out, surprising Al by being a dwarf, dressed in safari gear. Mo sticks out his hand to shake Al's in greeting.
Morris Mighty Mo Minkowski, lion tamers in the stars.
Al, looking somewhat confused at the tiger, shakes his hand.
Yeah. Hi. Call me Al.
I followed you for years in the papers. Great admirer of your work and happy to be in your crew. Anyway, Ezra is your new tiger. Well, he's not new, but new to you.
Remember the tiger from the circus? Got him for Sonny. Only $50. They trained the midget free too.
Interior, Ralph's bedroom, presidential suite, later. Ralph, tie askew and jacketless, comes into his and Velma's bedroom, which is not as grand as Al's, but pretty deluxe. He finds Velma heading for the bathroom.
Today I saved Al $20 million.
How'd he take it?
He was impressed.
How impressed?
So impressed he even said thanks.
Interior, Everglades Suite, Biltmore Hotel, Sonny's room. May stands behind Sonny, who looks especially chubby in a suit and already bored. She is fighting with a cowlick in his hair and not winning. We hear Tommy and Eddie arriving.
Ralph, we're going with Eddie.
I'll go with you. I'm so excited to see how Rocco is doing.
Mafalda walks into Sonny's room with Candy, her eyes scanning all around for the slightest opportunity for mischief.
Want a snack? I know you hate having dinner on an empty stomach.
May turns around, glaring at Mafalda, who skips out, pleased with how her cheap shot landed. May decides this is as good as Sonny is going to look, and they both exit. Exterior Costa d'Oro restaurant, main entrance, evening. Multiple cars drop off bosses from the various families as badly hidden cops watch. One VIP is Luciano, who is looking serious, and he is quickly greeted by Al, who looks uncertain as to how to read Luciano.
Charlie, I'm so glad you...
Yeah. You got the room ready? Let's get this over with.
Yeah. Private dining room, too.
Good. There's cops loitering all over this goddamn place.
I know. I paid most of them.
Exterior, Costa d'Oro restaurant, tropical garden. Johnny and Mo sit behind a wrought iron fence, camouflaged with hibiscus bushes. There is a circusy looking sign that reads, "This way to see the tropical garden. Meet Ezra, the tiger." Johnny tells Mo war stories of the Chicago rackets.
So, At a press conference, when the reporter asks, Al says, "Why would I have Judge Peter my shot? He was on my payroll."
Mo laughs at Johnny's stories. Johnny's holster flashes for a moment, showing a Colt .45 pistol.
Whoa, you weren't in the war.
Nah, big brother Vince, war hero. I was in school when Al came and said he died in France. After the war, the army sent his stuff over. Gun, medals, uniforms, all in a crate. It's all I have left of him.
Mo is reverent, silent. Then Johnny speaks up again.
Hey, wanna shoot it later?
Interior, private meeting room, Costa d'Oro, night. Al and the rest of the commission sit around the table. By the smoky air, we can tell it's been a tough negotiation. Although Lucky's kept things moving, the expressions and body language show there's still, obviously, unresolved anger between Emilio and Al, the former grumbling under his breath.
Fuck it. Fine.
Anyone else?
The rest murmur in agreement. Lucky flips back some pages on a notepad where he has scribbled down important items.
I think we're good. Let's get something to fucking eat.
Napolitans. Good, all right.
Al looks over. His look shows he didn't quite catch what Emilio said. It's not good, whatever it was. He and Al obviously hate each other. In the background, we hear sounds of plates, glasses, and silverware all being set up.
Al's right. A recap and let's enjoy the dinner he's hosting.
Al is relieved as Lucky rattles off terms to which everyone is agreed. How they'll bid for Al's rackets, divisions of territories, the way the commission will settle disputes, the way hits must be approved, especially for a made man, etc.
Finally, it was agreed Miami's neutral turf. It's a place for us to relax, meet each other, have a drink, socialize, do some business. Nobody gets hit in Miami.
Nobody made.
Yeah, that. Dinner?
Interior, private dining room, Costa d'Oro, night. The whole commission files into the room. The room is set up with champagne, waiters with appetizers, and Rocco sets up a carving station with whole prime rib of beef. Some of the guys talk business, others about sending their wife shopping. A few try to rehash some of the terms with which they aren't happy. Emilio is, as usual, complaining, and not as quietly as Luciano would like. They all approach the carving station.
So I buy him out, then I run all of the Great Lakes from Detroit. What fucking good is that if I had to buy all my Canadian from show, the fucking meat from Boston?
Al is about to be done with Emilio. Amadeo heads things off.
Let it go, Cat. Have some drinks, eat some prime rib. You're at a 5-star restaurant in the middle of paradise. You're gonna make $8 million a year, for Christ's sake.
All right. I got a point. This sure fucking beats Mother's macaroni in the tenements.
Seemingly out of nowhere, Al turns purple with rage.
You shut the fuck up about my mother, you fucking bastard!
Al grabs the carving knife and slashes at Cat, catching his throat, covered by a spray of blood. He's jumped by Luciano and some others. Al is out of control with rage.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Fucking get off of me!
Hearing the racket, Tommy runs in, pistol drawn at the sight. The rest of them pull out their guns. Tommy freezes.
Oh, it's you. Tom, take your boss, wash him up, get guys to clean this fucking mess up.
Al, panting hard and red-faced, gets up with Tommy's help, who leads him out.
We'll fucking talk, Al.
Interior, Costa d'Oro, restaurant, Al's office. Al, in a daze in a fresh outfit, paces around the floor, talking to Ralph, who mostly shakes his head.
Fucking shit, Al.
I know.
What now?
I don't know. Lucky wants to speak.
Exterior, Costa d'Oro restaurant, tropical garden, night. Mo and Johnny back the truck along the side of the restaurant grounds. Covered by the tropical foliage, Ezra's unhappy. Mo hops down and helps Johnny back up.
Okay, keep going. Okay, stop. You're good.
I'm staying inside. That cat's not been fed in forever. I don't want to get him ideas.
What? I gotta change it myself?
Well, that's your job, right? So just keep him calm a little longer.
Mo opens the truck and, gripping the door, swings on it as Ezra comes out, sniffing and angry. It's the longest moment of Mo's life. As Johnny pulls away, Tommy and Eddie arrive, each holding an end of a rolled-up rug. They're greeted by the sight of Mo hanging on the swinging truck gate.
Yeah, I'm only going by height here, but you the tiger guy?
Ezra roars, and Eddie takes out his pistol and aims it in the general direction of the tiger.
You shut the fuck up!
Tommy is kneeling down, looking at the large, bulky blanket rolled up. He mumbles in what sounds like Latin. His eyes are shut tight and has a rosary in his hands. He crosses himself as Eddie yells in the background.
Eggs in the cupboard! It's for tonight!
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Again, you the fucking tiger guy.
Why would I be dressed like this?
Calm that fucking cat. Johnny, give us a hand.
As Mo goes into circus mode, Johnny helps Eddie and Tommy with the blanket. By the moonlight, Johnny notices his hands are bloody red. Reaching where Mo is, keeping the edgy Ezra at bay, they stop.
Whoa, he smells something.
It's the sardine oil. Tigers will eat a cinder block if it's covered in sardine oil. Come here.
Tommy has Mo grab a side of the blanket. They all forcefully unroll it towards the tiger. Emilio's bloodied, naked body tumbles towards Ezra as they each go to their vehicle. Interior truck cabin night. Muffled sounds of Ezra finally eating are heard inside the cabin. Tommy closes the truck as Johnny drives it away.
That's why the tiger's on a diet.
You guys don't fuck around.
No evidence, no problem. Your job is to make sure the tiger does his. Do yours and keep it. Don't, and you're the next appetizer.
Interior Costa d'Oro restaurant, main dining room. We see Luciano returning from the Detroit table, uneasy, calm. He sits down at Al's table, interrupting the people, congratulating Al.
Thanks. Thank you.
I told the Detroit crew it'll be settled. They didn't ask for details, and I didn't volunteer any. You are on such thin fucking ice.
Lucky leaves Al to ponder that, as a brunette finally works her way through the crush of people wishing Al well. Interior Costa d'Oro restaurant, Al's office, late. Ralph enters, crossing paths with Lucky and two others.
Hey, tell Al I'll be waiting for him on the garden terrace.
Exterior Costa d'Oro, back garden, night. With the two Detroit guys a slight distance back, Lucky walks up. Al sits on an iron bench. As Lucky leans on the railing, he glowers at Al for what seems like ages. Suddenly, Lucky's voice shatters the silence.
You fucking imbecile!
I know, Charlie. I know.
You're a stupid goddamn fucking idiot!
Al, downcast, shakes his head, clearly humiliated. Lucky pivots from angry lecture to boss in charge.
Hadn't we just said not 5 minutes before? Nobody gets hit in Miami. Miami is neutral ground. No made man gets hit without commission approval. Did we not just say that? Didn't we?
Yes, Charlie.
This has a price, Al. A big fucking price. One way or another, you're gonna get out of La Cosa Nostra. Hey, fellas, come here.
They walk up and lean on the railing next to Lucky.
Witnesses, I want it on record. We arrived at a fair solution with respect to all.
Exterior Costa d'Oro, back garden. Al, point of view.
Witnesses to represent the affected parties. Emilio's brother, Sal, now acting boss. Sal Jr., this establishes there's no disrespect in how we arrive at a solution.
Look, Charlie, I know that...
All you know is you were sent for. Here's how things stand. Pay attention. I'm not going to repeat myself.
Al is tense. No idea where Lucky is going with this. The two Sals, senior and junior, both nod, grunt. Al tries to look contrite.
I'm here to also represent an affected party. You see, every trespass has a guilty party, an injured party, and then the larger family. The system they both inhabit. Your sins affects the larger family, to the injured party, and to the system as a whole. You make proper, acceptable restitution, or come here.
Exterior, Costa d'Oro restaurant, back garden night. Lucky motions Al to follow him, walking along the railing over the garden until they are directly above the tiger enclosure, catching a tiny hint of what used to be Emilio.
Or there'll be a war. A war you couldn't afford to win. That the tiger you got your kid?
Al nods.
You think that tiger can taste the difference between a made guy and a little kid?
What?
Al stands, his temper rising in spite of his situation.
Calm down.
Lucky puts his hand on Al's shoulder, firmly but gently.
Relax, calm down. Now, Omerta. Them fucking micks giving you headaches, they hate you. They don't care about Omerta. Honor, moral code. They would do something very regrettable. And if you don't shake the fuck up, we just might let them. We speak the same English?
Al nods with resigned understanding. Fuck around and Sonny's an orphan at best. Tiger food at worst.
Restitution. Understood.
Glad you said that. Al, the best war is the one you never have to fight. Now let's shove all these worms back in the can you opened.
Lucky leads Al back to where Sal Sr. and Jr. wait. Exterior, Costa d'Oro restaurant, back garden terrace, night.
This wasn't easy. It has to make whole as best as possible.
Lucky gives a sympathetic look to the Detroit guys.
Those you deliberately harmed send a lesson to anyone who thinks being a goddamn hothead like you is a viable way to do business and bring justice to the situation. So here's what happens. The whole Capone family, Al, underboss, capos, consigliere, etc., all of you. You lose any expansion and travel privileges until further notice.
Al sighs for a half second until he sees Lucky still at it.
Sal here will buy you out on your truck business in Michigan at whatever you have on record as value.
Sal Jr. makes a low whistling sound. That had to hurt Al.
Also, there'll be financial restitution of...
Lucky looks at a small scrap of paper and then up at the ceiling as he does some quick arithmetic.
$3 million in cash, 1 week.
Sal Jr. can't help himself. So staggered he is by that sum.
Whoa.
Lucky looks at Jr., who pipes down.
Cash? 1 week.
Gosh, Al. Would that be too much time?
Al shakes his head.
The VIG's 3 points a week. It starts in 7 days. But it won't run forever. All right, we're finished here.
Al gets it. He's been dismissed. He stands and leaves, pausing to address Lucky one last time.
I'll send it with Tommy Walsh.
He walks away quietly, half raging in humiliation, half in contrition. He closes the door behind him with a soft click. Interior, Everglades Suite, Biltmore Hotel. Al comes in very, very late. He looks upstairs and sees a light on. He goes up the stairs, apprehensively. Interior Everglades suite, top floor. The kitchen light is on in the living quarters section of the suite. May is there. She is seated at the kitchen table having a nightcap. Al, about to leave for his meeting with Ralph, sits next to her. She pours him a glass of wine.
You okay?
What's the story on the house?
Gonna buy that house on the water.
Wow. Wait until Sonny hears. At last, a place that we can get away.
Well, Augie, the whole Anheuser-Busch owes me, you know?
May kisses Al all over. He pulls slightly away. This is not the whole story.
But this is more than a vacation home, baby. We gotta move here.
What?
More or less permanent.
What?
Al motions for her to keep it down. It's obvious it takes Al effort to confront his wife. However, she struggles with the dilemma of wanting to scream at Al and addresses him in an angry whisper.
Damn it, Al. All our friends. Our whole lives are in Chicago.
If we don't, and I can't explain your widow with an orphan.
Al stands and kisses May on the head and heads out, leaving a stunned May, eyes welling. Interior luxury suite, Biltmore Hotel. Ralph comes in. Velma is drifting in and out of sleep on the sofa, a half-read book of spiritualism. The voices of the dead on her chest, but perks up when Ralph comes in.
Hey, sorry. I try to be quiet.
I was just reading. I want to see what Frankie thinks of all this.
Don't let Matt catch you with that book. She'll start an exorcism.
Frankie knows something and is trying to tell us from the spirit world. I know it, I can feel it.
Fine, as long as he's quiet. When we move into the new house, you're going to have to be quiet, too. I'm kind of skeeved myself.
Ralph hears the sound of Al coming in without knocking. Interior Everglades suite office next morning. Al and Ralph put their heads together over Lucky's offer.
That's a hell of a dilemma. I can't say my hands are $1.5 million.
But by the time we raise the rest...
From selling rackets, turf, etc.?
The VIG puts the debt at what?
$2.25 million. Call it.
One of two things happens next. I lose control of my rackets, or I get a bounty put on my head, or both.
Ralph looks at Al, who is, out of character, calm.
Remember, to the other families, Milwaukee, Cleveland, etc., I'm
a publicity whore? Loose cannon? I mean, that's what they think.
Al smiles bitterly, downcast.
I know.
Al, you need that cubic acre of cash. Yesterday.
Al, for the first time in his discussions with Ralph, drops the brotherly tone. He stands, speaking as the boss.
It's decided. We take Joe Kennedy's offer, which means we'll be putting off legitimacy for a few months.
So then...
Then you handle the arrangements after the lawyers draft their papers. You shelter our rackets. Bulletproof, you hear me? Or we get lucky in the commission looking the other way when Moran and O'Banion give us the Irish shipwreck. Killing women and children first.
Pre-lap papers shuffling. There is a knock. Interior RJ's office late night. A disheveled RJ is poring over a stack of receipts, photos, etc. As we see him trying to conjure up a paper trail.
Come in.
You won't believe how I figured out how to get him.
Interior, the Breakers, private suite, early morning. Al, Sonny, and Ralph wait as a clock ticks loudly. After what seems like an age, Joe Kennedy enters, seemingly from an early morning swim. He greets Al, Ralph, and Sonny. His wife and their kids are on scene in the next room. Joe approaches Sonny and, not noticing his primitive hearing aid, looks cheerfully at the boy.
Don't tell me. Your dad wanted you to see my paintings, right?
Sonny doesn't quite hear what is being said and looks confusedly at Al, who nods very subtly at Sonny.
Yes, sir.
Joe leads him and the others to look at the paintings.
That's George Washington.
Everyone looks at the paintings and at Sonny, who is taking it in. In the background, they hear the sound of children playing.
Sonny'd like to meet your children, especially Rosemary. They're about the same age.
Rose from the next room comes in with all of their children to join them. The kids are introduced to Sonny, with Rosemary coming in last.
Sonny, this is Rosemary.
Rosemary just looks off into the middle distance.
Maybe you kids can go play on the beach while Mr. Kennedy and I speak.
You all go ahead. I'll stay with Rosemary. She's still recovering from that operation.
Surrounded by the adults, Sonny and Rosemary stand looking at each other. Under this iconic picture, neither of them are able to communicate and don't know what's going on. As Rose leaves and Joe sends the kids to change, we spot that Rosemary is seemingly on autopilot and has a scar on her forehead. Sonny looks at Al with "what's going on" look. Al and Ralph freeze for a moment as everyone goes. Then Al addresses Joe.
About your idea.
Fade out.